In this video, I'm going to be looking at the second to the last validation control, which is the regular expression validation control. Regular expression, and if you've been around website development for a while, you know what regular expression is. Writing regular expression is not really a very easy task, but some people enjoy it. And one thing I must point out is that there are loads of websites where you can find a regular expression that is already written, that you can just take the regular expression and use in your application without having to scratch your head, because it has already been figured out. And there's a saying programming that you should not reinvent the wheel. You should not well, if something has been done, there's no point for you to actually recreate it. So just go out there, look for the regular expression for what you're trying to achieve. I'm sure it has already been done, because I'm sure that. Anyway, so let's get down to it. Regular expression, it lets you specify a regular expression that describes all the allowable values for a field. For example, if I want to validate this email address to make sure that only users can enter only email address into this text box, it's going to check to make sure that the format of the string that you have entered is actually in form of an email address. If it's not, it's going to give an error. So let's drag a regular expression validator beside the email, and let's delete that so we don't have any problem with that one. So we want to use the regular expression validator to validate text box 5. Control to validate. This control to validate will be text box 5. We want to set the error message to please enter correct email address. So now what we also need to set is the regular expression. We have to set a validation expression. The regular expression to determine validated. So there is some that has been added by default by the ASP.NET developers. So we have the French phone number, French postal code, German phone number, German postal code, internet email address. This is the one that we need right now. So I'm just going to select that, and if you can see clearly, what this is telling us is that the expression will match any string that begins with one or more non-white space character. So this is one or more non-white space character, is followed by the @sign, and then it's followed again by non-white space characters. If you see, the same thing that it was written here is also the same thing that was written here. So this is checking the non-white space characters. So it's like AB at AB, right? Then dot, there's a dot, then this is another one that is checking for another non-white characters. And so let's put that into test, because we want to check for email. We've chosen the internet email address, and let's OK that. So that is going to be checking for a correct email format. So if you run the application, we should be good. So let's try A at A. Let's see what that does. It gives us an error. So if we try A at A, then dot, we still got an error. But if we try .c, now we don't get any error anymore, because we have actually followed the rule, because we have done, this is a non-white space followed by character, then non-white space character followed by a dot, then a non-white space character. So but if we should do A space B, remember we've broken the rule. because we've put a white space between A and B. So if we put register, we'll get an error. So this will always make sure that your user actually enter a format of an email address, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the user will enter the correct email address like I'm doing right here now. This is not the correct email address, but it's going to check the format, not a correct. I mean, no one can check for the correct email address, because that means you'll be querying your date, you'll be querying Yahoo email, Google email, and hundreds and thousands of email providers, which is like impossible. So you can only check the format. You cannot check to see if the user is actually inputting the correct email. So that's the way to use the regular expression. Just like I said, if you go on Google and type in regular expression, just type in regular expression, you get a lot of web pages which tells you how to for example, let me show you another one. If we can also use, instead of the email address, you can try internet URL. You know the format of a URL. Let's try the format of a URL. Let's see if that works. Now we're actually checking against to see if it matches. So if we type just google.com, we'll get an error because we need the HTTP or HTTPs. We get the error, but if we say HTTP, so we shouldn't get an error now. You see, this one goes through. So can you see the power of this? This is very powerful. You can actually make sure that you create a rule that tells your user to only enter data which start with a uppercase character. So if it doesn't start with an uppercase character, you do not accept it. Or you can be very creative in this way. So just like I said, and I'm going to repeat again, you do not have to start writing regular expression or buy a book. If you really want to learn it, if you're interested in learning it, why not get a book and get into it and get your hands dirty. But if you just want it for your ASP.NET application, there are hundreds of regular expression which is already written, and you can find it in many online resources. So just look for it, you find it, and just copy and paste it into the validation expression area, and you'll be good to go to validate your controls. So that's it for regular expression validator. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment on my blog, and I will get back to you with an answer. I don't know every answer, but I'll try my best. Thank you.